Welcome to Hena's epic Armageddon battle report. This is the 3000 point game between Space Marines and Imperial Guard Steel Legion. The lists are NetEA lists and there will be a link in the description below. First, let's look at the Marines. And here's the army. So, first we have Tactical with one Land Rider, then we have Whirlwinds. Then we have Thunderbolts, 2 pairs of them. Then we have the main unit, i.e. Reaver. Then we have 5 Land Speeders. And then we have Terminators in a Thunderhawk. And another set of Terminators. And that's the Marines. Then, let's look at the Imperial Guard. Here is the list. First we have 2 sets of Vultures. Then we have 3 sets of Stormtroopers, each with Valkyries and Commissar. Then we have an infantry company with Hydra and a Commissar, and another infantry company with Hydra and Commissar. Then we have a pair of Deathstrike missiles and Regimental HQ with a Hydra. And a Commissar, obviously. And that's the Imperial Guard. Then on to deployment. So here we go. Land Speeders are garrisoned behind the building. And they go on Overwatch, but are not on pop-up situation. And the Imperial Guard deploys infantry company on a corner where the Blitz is. Blitz is the Blitz objective for Marines. And then they also garrison the 2nd infantry company on an objective around the little farm there. So there we go. Then normal deployment. Whirlwinds go first behind a hill, and Deathstrikes as well. Then it's back to Marines, and Tactical is deployed behind the power generator system. And then the Stormtroopers 1, which goes near the infantry company. There, and then the Reaver goes for Marines on the table. And that's the all deployment for Marines, so then it's the Imperial Guard putting the Regimental HQ in the center. Next, it's the Stormtroopers 2, which go between the Regimental HQ and the other Stormtroopers. Then Stormtroopers 3, which goes on the other side of the Regimental HQ as well. And then we get Vultures, which are set up inside one of the Stormtroopers to protect them from possible air assault. And the Vultures 1 or the 2nd batch is also set up in a similar fashion. And that's what it looks like. So the Marines have almost like 1000 points outside. A little more, in fact. And there is the units on the ground. Not much for Marines. And the Imperial Guard are holding on their side, with the Blitz in the corner. And there we have it. So, on to the battle itself. First turn. And Marines win. No, actually, it's teleport first. And I decided to teleport the Terminators there to try to do a double whammy on the corner. And the Marines go first, and Thunderhawk is ordered to ground attack. And it lands in the corner, intermingles the attacks, both intermingled Death Strikes and the Infantry Company 1. And Overwatch kills one unit. Then the rest pile to protect the commander from getting hit. But the thing goes badly for Marines as they lose the combat and only one Terminator survives. There was several casualties on the Imperial Guard, but that wasn't sufficient. Then it's hard situation, Marines. I decided to Thunderbolt and attack the Death Strikes because I wanted the River to survive. Unfortunately, that means that I'm sacrificing the second batch of Terminators, since the Stormtroopers then go on the offensive and engage the Marines. And no, actually they didn't engage, they advanced obviously. And only one Terminator survives, that as I can't save them. So then the Thunderbolts 1 do another ground attack, and this time I got 2 hits and managed to kill both of them. Also I got 2 hits on the Thunderbolts, but they saved both, so yay! Then the Vultures, so they do an advance and target the Reaver and blast away, dropping the shields and doing some damage. So I decided to marshal it to bring up some shields, so I got 2 shields back. And it moves inside the forest in order to try to get some sort of cover from the second batch of Vultures. And this next goes to Stormtroopers, which I did not expect. So the aim in here is to try to fire the missiles to give some extra blast markers on the river, in consideration that it might break. So with 6 PB you get 2 automatic blast markers. Then it's the Whirlwinds, which sustain fire, targeting the Stormtroopers, but didn't manage to knock down any Valkyries, only killed some Stormtroopers. Then it's Vulture 1, which advance to clear the forest between them and fire up the river. And they manage to do some damage on it, so additional point, plus it creates a critical hit, so there is a damage on the river. Then it's Landspeeders, and they double, moving forwards, getting the Vultures in the range and fire at them, but only do 1 blast marker. Then it's the Infantry Company 1, and this is actually a mistake. They marshaled, but didn't really do anything. But they had fired the Overwatch, so they should not have been able to actually do that activation. But that was a mistake. So then it's Tactical, which advance to get the Land Raider into range and fire at the Stormtroopers, but they actually missed everything, so yay. And then it's the Infantry Company 2, which engages the lone Terminator into the close combat in order to wipe it out. Well, not close combat, into the firefight, and they kill it, losing 1 infantry unit. So really didn't lose much in there. I couldn't save them either. So then it's Regimental HQ, which double, using the Supreme Commander reroll. And they take in positions in the buildings. What they do here is position themselves to move on the Blitz, and also create a crossfire against my land speeders. So in hopes of dropping them. And they managed to kill 2, but not break the formation. Then it's the Stormtroopers 1, which double, so Marines had run out of activations at this point. So the Stormtroopers go here, and then they also fire the missiles to create 2 blast markers on the Terminator, which dies. So that's the end of the turn 1. Marines are being pushed back. Reaver is having problems with critical. And my air assault was completely wiped out. So I'm a bit down here, but I have a plan, which I am trying now next to execute. So we'll see how well that works out. I still have the Reaver, and there is no more missiles coming at it, so it should be able to survive. And if I can keep it alive and keep it firing at the enemies, then it should clear the way for the Marines to hit. And since I also have both of my Thunderbolts, I still have a firepower. So, turn 2. And the Reaver, using Supreme Reroll, advances. So it moves the second forest forwards. It took 1 damage and didn't manage to fix the core. Man shoots at the stormtroopers but doesn't quite break it. So I would have needed 1 more hit to break it. Then retaining Landspeeder's fire, but failed to activate, and hold and fire, but didn't do more than 1 blast marker. So then it's the Imperial Guard and the stormtroopers regroup, so they move and remove the blast markers that they've had. And then from Marines, Thunderbolts stand down. Then it's Stormtroopers 1, which double, so they move behind the tacticals. Again, they are positioning themselves to, well, they are going to shoot obviously, but they're also positioning themselves for crossfire positions. There we go. And Marines lose only 1 Rhino to the fire, so that didn't go as Imperials planned. Thunderbolts 1 make a ground attack, so the aim in here is to destroy vultures before they can activate, but that didn't go well for me. So then the vultures 2 advance, and they jump. One of them can fire, so it jumps there and shoots at the Landspeeders with crossfire, but they didn't manage to do anything. So it's the Whirlwinds, which then aim at the Regimental HQ. And again, I'm trying to destroy the vehicles, so to make it slow down, and also to destroy infantry as much as I can. But it's in cover, so it's hard to actually damage them. There we go, some vehicles destroyed. Then it's the Vultures, which jump forward, and they target the Marines, but don't really manage to do much there. Then Tactical, which sustains fire, and manages to kill 2 of the Valkyries. Not enough, but at least something. Then Stormtroopers 2, they marshal, so they move and remove the blast markers that they've had. So ready themselves for turn 3. And then as Marines have run out of activations, the Imperials do the rest as well. So first, the infantry company advances. They move up and shoot at the tacticals as well, creating crossfire there, and manage to kill 1 unit. There we go. And then the infantry company 1, which holds. It was trying to double and fails. And they elect to move out of the corner at least a bit. And then finally the Regimental HQ, which marches. So they didn't quite have enough move for double and to fire the Whirlwind, so instead they decide to march and ready themselves for the next turn's move. And from my guess, I'm worried that they'll try to wipe out the Whirlwinds. So here's what it looks like at the end of round 2. I didn't really lose anything at this turn, so I'm bouncing back. And the Reaver is there. It still has the damage on the core, and it didn't manage to fix it either. So it drops to 1 health, but it's still there. And the Imperials don't have that much anti-tank firepower, so I am reasonably confident it'll be able to hold and soak up some fire, hopefully next turn. And that's what it looks like. They're encircling the river, but it's there. And the land speeders are continuing their fight against the vultures in the corner. Yay! Just one sustained fire and the vultures drop. So turn 3, and actually Imperial Guard go first, which is really bad news for Marines. So first the Infantry Company 2 engages the river in the firefight. Now the idea here is that since the Stormtroopers are within fire support range, the Stormtroopers hopefully will finish the river off without too much losses to the infantry. But it didn't go that well, so I lost 2 shields, but there was 5 losses on the infantry, and they lose the combat and break. Then the vultures won, which sustained fire, which tried to fire the river in crossfire, but didn't manage to do anything. Then it's the whirlwinds, which sustain and target the regimental HQ. But it didn't break, so I retained with thunderbolts and tried to break them, but I failed. And this creates a problem, because then the Stormtroopers 2 move up and target the river, giving it the blast marker, but they move into a fire support range, giving the chance for Stormtroopers 3 to engage with Stormtroopers 2 supporting, and that means that the river takes too much damage and is gone. So that creates a lot of problems for me, since now I don't have the river anymore, and I needed its firepower to drop some activations. So the tacticals decide to try to at least prevent too much losses. They engage the Stormtroopers behind them in hopes of breaking them. However, that goes horribly bad and I lose the combat. And finally I retain and shoot at the vultures. I failed to activate, but I still could take a shot, and I managed to kill 2 of them. So they go there. But that's pretty much it, because then the regimental HQ marshals, and they move to take the second take and hold objective. When I lost the combat with the tacticals, I moved them back to protect the blitz from the other end, but yeah, didn't help. So that's what it looks like in the end. The Stormtroopers could have still activated, we rolled for that, and they probably would have moved to secure some objectives on Imperial Guard side. But basically this is already 2-0 for the Imperial Guard, with BT break their spirit as the river is dead, and take and hold with the regimental HQ. So Imperial Guard takes the victory here. And yeah, I realized later on that I should probably do the double attack in a slightly different manner, so teleport the Terminators in front of the Infantry Company 1 and engage with them, and then if that failed, I could have still held on to the Thunderhawk, but hindsight has 20/20, so if that would have worked, and it was really close that it didn't work, I would have able to be cut off a lot of troops for Imperial Guard, so it would have been a real bonus for me. So that's it. Like if you liked, here is the software that I used, and the music is by Kevin MacLeod. So thanks for watching. Bye!